Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crafty Little Megan. I hope you had a great week, and if you got a chance to check out my video from last week, thanks a lot. If you didn't, go ahead and check it out. I'm planning on trying to post a lot more frequently this year, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos I have in store. This week was my birthday, and so I decided to make myself my own birthday cake. I learned a lot of lessons after my last creation of the Sonic cake, and so I thought it would be a fun idea to give a new cake a whirl. My daughter wants to have a rainbow corn birthday, and so I thought I would try and practice a rainbow corn cake for my own birthday, so I chose a flamingo. I hope you guys like what I have in store for you. I learned a lot, and I hope it gives you a giggle. So the first lesson I learned was freezing the cake. Makes it easier to frost, especially on the sides, without getting your plate all dirty. And so I used that here, and I was able to pick it up with no problem and frost the sides. You'll also notice that this time I made more than enough frosting to cover my cake completely with some to spare. I didn't want to worry about color matching it if I ran out later. And after my Sonic cake disaster, I definitely knew I wanted more frosting than less. If you watch cake decorating videos on YouTube or Facebook like I do, you'll notice that the people that are really good at it manage to get their frosting completely smooth. I don't know how these miracle workers achieve this, but this was not in the cards for me. I thought cutting a heart out of parchment paper and then laying it on top of my cake to fill in with sprinkles was a stroke of genius, but you'll see quickly that this took a turn, and all of the frosting and some of the cake stuck to the paper when I went to lift it up. If this happens to you, remember it is just cake, and you can always just fill it in with more frosting or decorate around it if you need to. Since my parchment paper trick didn't end up with the crisp heart lines that I wanted to be surrounding my heart, I ended up just piping a little border around the heart to define it, and it also added a cute little element, so it wasn't a total disaster. I leaned pretty heavy on marshmallows to decorate this cake. They are kind of a sticky mess, but you can do a lot with them. They're pretty pliable, and for this I used them for eyes, and they made the perfect little circle shapes, and I was able to use sprinkles to sparkle them out and kind of bedazzle them. The eyes worked out so well that I decided to use marshmallows again to make some little feet for my flamingo. I just cut kind of some toe shape, and then I used the sprinkles to kind of give them a glitterified effect. Make sure you get in between all of the toes, and if you know anything about rainbow corns, you know that they are completely covered in glitter, so this was perfectly on theme. This portion of the cake decorating made me feel like I was on Squid Game. I decided to cut a wing shape out of a graham cracker using a serrated knife. If you've ever tried to cut a brittle cracker, it's not the easiest of things to do, but it is possible. Make sure you have extra crackers because you're going to break quite a few, and I won't bore you with all of the broken ones that I had. But I did create a little wing shape, and I even rounded out the edges, and with frosting on top of it as decoration, they were delightfully tasty. To make the unicorn horn, I again used marshmallows. I don't need any comments letting me know that an ice cream cone would have been an easier way to make a unicorn horn. I already know this, but I'm lazy and I was not about to go to the grocery store to pick up a ice cream cone for this. So don't leave comments unless you want to pad my stats. But I did cut a horn shape into the marshmallows, and then I covered it with frosting because there were quite a few holes and divots and I wanted to cover those up. And then again, I just used sprinkles to give it a glittered feel. And who's this professional cake decorator using scissors so that she doesn't ruin her flat frosting when she's putting her horn in? Oh yeah, it's a really popular cake decorating trend right now is to kind of paint on food coloring to the inside of a piping bag, and that helps to give like a rainbow effect to your frosting without having to dye a whole bunch of different colors of frosting and dirty a whole bunch of bowls. So I did that here, and then I just added my pink frosting because I had plenty left over after my PTSD of the Sonic cake experience. And if I can say anything, it's that you do need to kind of prime your bag by running quite a bit of frosting through it. I thought it wasn't going to work really well, and so once I just got the blue color, I thought, okay, this is as good as it's going to get. But towards the end here, I did start getting some of the yellow and green, and so I added more hair so that you'd at least get to experience it. We've almost crossed the finish line, and marshmallows are making an appearance yet again. My flamingo would not be complete without a beak, and so I used marshmallows to shape a beak, and then used frosting to kind of smooth it out and make it the right color. This is where the cake took a weird turn though, because as you can see, this beak looks oddly like a certain male organ, and it did make the cake extra funny, so while it wasn't great, it was certainly something. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you back next week.